Good afternoon. What a glorious day we have for this celebration. Thankfully, it's May and it's really spring, or so they tell us that it's really spring. My name is Adrienne Williams and I'm your MC for the evening. The first order of business will be to welcome all of our guests and our graduating students. So with us tonight is Vice President of Enrollment Management, Frank Williams.
Good evening. I want to welcome our faculty members. I want to welcome our staff members that are here, and also our students, with a brief message for everyone. To our faculty, I welcome you and thank you for all the hard work you've done. For some of our students for the last 4 years, for some of them they may have transferred for the last 2 years, we thank you for the work you've given to them. For our staff members, I want to thank you for all the processing of resumes and processing of transcripts and helping to make sure they've moved on to this great occasion for graduation. But most importantly, to our students, we welcome you. This is one of your days of celebration. Yes, I say one, because it's only the beginning. There's so many other milestones. And to let you know, I'm proud of you. Why? I'm proud of you for overcoming so many things. What have you overcome? Many of you have overcome obstacles of someone saying you would never make it, but you're here. Some of you have overcome obstacles of not having the support before even getting here, but you're here. Some of you have overcome the obstacle of a single-parent household, and you thought you couldn't do it. Again, you're here. Some of you right now are sitting here thinking, well, what next? I tell you not to worry. You've done all the work, you get all the congratulations, and there's many, many more events like this that you will attend. So again, I welcome you and I thank you. Know that we're proud of you, and again, you're here. Thank you.
You are here. You probably remember you are here when you first started here 4 or 5 years ago. Like, oh, I'm here, I'm here. Okay, thank you, Frank. So some might ask the question, why this? Why this ceremony? Why do we need to do this? Why do we need to have such an occasion? To some, it might seem like it's a separation of sorts, but it really isn't. Our answer to that question is a ceremony is a way to bring all of us together to celebrate your accomplishments and what you've done and what you've been working to accomplish for the last so many years. It's a way to promote human dignity and to celebrate all of your accomplishments and all of the people's lives each person will make better. Our society was built on the idea that every person brings something to the table and every worthy accomplishment should be celebrated. Cause for celebration, wouldn't you say? None of our graduates today come to this moment without sacrifice. Our ALHANA students have each gone through an emotional roller coaster in which they had to dig deep to fight forces that may have caused some students to retreat, the money issues that may have forced sacrifices from more than one family member, and the outside forces that our national dialogue would sometimes make our students throw up their hands in frustration. Not just you students. And wonder if there was a conspiracy working against their success. But tonight you proved that this was not a conspiracy, but a motivation to charge forward. You had pledged to begin a college journey, and you did. All you could possibly do to end that journey successfully. So this celebration is our attempt to let you know that we saw you. We were there for you. And now we are ecstatic for you, and we want to prove it through this graduation celebration. I'd like to take a moment to introduce all of the faculty and staff of color that came out today, this afternoon. So if you would stand, all the faculty and staff of color. And I'm going to deviate just a little bit from this lovely script that's been written for me. because there are people in the room who may not identify as a person of color, but we're there for you, and we're rooting for you, and we're trying their best to make your time here at Daemen successful. So I applaud all the faculty and staff in the room. So we were there when you didn't even know it. We were there when you didn't think we were. We were there when you walked out of our office and said, I can't get any help. We were still there. Sometimes help comes in a form that you don't like, but it's help nevertheless. And you'll probably recognize that help a little further down the road. You've been through the ups and downs of receiving a college degree, and each of us can attest to the difficulties and triumphs. We have dedicated ourselves to be of service to all students of color who have come behind us, as others who preceded us were there for us to get our degrees. We would like to take this moment to introduce the faculty and staff who are brimming with pride over your accomplishments. I think I did that, so without further ado, we're going to have a message played by Dr. Greg Nair, our Vice President of Students, who could not be with us tonight, but wanted to send his congratulations.
Honored guests, greetings. Thank you for allowing me to be part of Daemen's second annual ALHANA celebration, albeit from afar. I really wish that I could have been here in person with you all today to help you celebrate this momentous event, but alas, I have an off-campus engagement of which I really could not get out. But as proof that this is not a generic message and that I recorded it only last week and not a year ago, here's a copy of the USA Today from April 26, 2018. Please notice the date. I know that Frank Williams will be speaking next after me, and I'm sure he was going to make some kind of smart comment, so I'm trying to be proactive and get out in front of it. In all seriousness, this event today is not about us, but it's about you. This is an event 4 years or more in the making. In a little over 2 weeks, when you walk across that stage at Kleinhand's Music Hall, you will join the select group of people in this country who have earned a college degree. It's only about 25% of the eligible people who have a college degree. What's more, as a student of color, you join an even more select group of individuals who have persevered through a lot of hard work and discipline to get a piece of paper that can and will open many doors of possibilities for you in the future. You need to be incredibly proud of being here today and for all that comes with that piece of paper. It represents hard work, determination, and sacrifice. We honor all of our ALHANA students today for what you have accomplished while at Daemen and what you will accomplish as you move forward. I could not be more proud of you and share in your excitement. We hope that you will wear the stoles that you receive today with pride on commencement day, not only for yourselves, not only for your families, but as a model for all the other students who are coming next after you, for every individual who is going to struggle from time to time, for every individual who thinks that they cannot make it, for every individual who questions at times the things that they're doing and how they're doing it. You are now that role model for the people coming after you, and I hope you'll embrace that role. Go forth from here and do great things for yourselves, for Daemen, for the greater community, and for everyone else. Again, please accept my sincerest congratulations for being here today and for getting this far. I really look forward to seeing you all on commencement day. Congratulations.
And now we are going to be honored by with a musical selection from our own Mr. Donald Davis.
I guess it won't come out, so I guess I'll just do it like this. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say to the graduates, congratulations. This is definitely a big achievement on your part, and you should feel very proud of yourselves and all the things that you've done here at Daemen. God sent his son, They called him Jesus. He came to love, heal and forgive. He bled and died to buy my pardon. An empty grave is there to prove my Savior lives. And because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. And because I know he holds my future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. How sweet to hold this newborn baby and feel the pride and joy it gives, but greater still, that calm assurance this child can face uncertain days because he lives. And because he lives, I can face my tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. And because I know he holds my future, and life is worth the living just because he lives. And life is worth the living just because he lives.
That was beautiful, Donald. Thank you so much. It is not easy. You have to be a real singer to sing a cappella and sound that good. So you did. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. So at this time, I am going to bring the Assistant Dean, Sabrina Fennell, to the stage, and she is going to introduce our speaker for the evening.
Good evening. So I was told I only have 2 minutes to introduce our speaker. For those of you who know me, I don't think I've ever had a 2-minute conversation, so this is going to be difficult for me, but I know we have dinner waiting, so I will try to keep it short. I am more than honored to introduce Kelvin Espinal this evening. We met in the spring of 2005. Kelvin was a young 18-year-old from Staten Island. I must have been 18 and a half then at that time. I was assistant director of HEOP at the time, and he was one of my first recruits into the program. I loved Kelvin's sense of humor, his energy, his dedication, and his motivation. And we quickly got along great because I learned, like myself, he did not like the word no. So Beverly definitely had her hands full that summer between Kelvin and I. We definitely gave her the runaround. But I cannot be more proud of Kelvin, and I'm not surprised of where he is today. He entered as a first-year student and was a trailblazer. He he did not need any help or support from our office whatsoever. Instead, he set the bar high and was a mentor to so many HOP students. So he is a proud Daemen Arthur Eve HOP graduate who finished his bachelor's and master's in accounting in January 2010. Since then, he's gone on to earn his certificate as a public accountant in New York and New Jersey. He has worked with 2 of the Big 4 accounting firms, and he's currently a manager with Deloitte & Touche. He's here with his beautiful wife, and I know he traveled with his 2 children and one of his sick puppies, Penny, who I've known since the start. Penny is now 14, but she's hanging on there. So I cannot be more proud to introduce Kelvin Espinal.
Man, Penny got a shout out. She's famous. I can't wait to tell her. All right. Thank you, Sabrina. She's gone. Alvin, Ms. Weeks, faculty, staff, students, congratulations. You did it. Like Sabrina said, my name is Kelvin Espinal. I graduated in 2010 from Daemen with bachelor's and a master's in accounting. Don't knock it till you try it. I'm an alumni of Omega Epsilon Zeta, an OG librarian, Soldier 001 if you know Kara. I'm proud to have run the dish room right in there. You would have heard Neo or some R&B. You were sure that I was going to fill up the juice right before I left, so I came back after it was closed to fill up. I made sure that I was very conscious of the people that I was with. Babette, the manager, made sure that if she let me out early, I gave her a ride home, and that started my night off just right. I took carpools and Amtraks and planes to go back home and see my family for those that are not from here. I moved from Amherst to Black Rock, made my way down to 7th Street downtown, and I found a home in Buffalo, South Buffalo to be specific, for 4 years, and I loved it. I loved it. And just like you, right before commencement, I prepared. I dodged buying a ring from the bookstore. I didn't iron my gown, and I got ready to walk at Kleinhans. Beautiful place. You guys are going to love it. So what I'm trying to get at is that I'm your incredibly handsome, somewhat intelligent Daemen brother. Even before Buffalo, I recognized that I was different. I spoke Spanish at home, something that became incredibly valuable for me. I dubbed myself someone that was too Dominican to be American and too American to be Dominican. What today is so subtly being celebrated is literally the most powerful, beautiful, irrational, and irreplaceable thing that you guys possess. You guys are diverse. I'm going to say it again. You guys are diverse. Our diversity should and can be an asset, not a distraction or a flaw. Mel Robbins, author and CNN commentator, delivered a TED Talks. She quantifies a person's uniqueness. In her talk, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over, she states the odds of Kelvin being born. At the moment that I was born, to the parents that I have, my DNA structure, 1 in 400 trillion. 400 trillion. I'm not going to take the next 7 minutes to tell you about why being diverse is so important and why generalities are so dangerous. You guys live that. I'm going to tell you how I used Daemen to find little pieces of myself through thinking about how certain people believed in me. How I went from celebrating birthdays with 30 racks of Keystones and Jim Stakeout to breakfast with my children, and waking up in hotel penthouses with my wife. I found some of the most profound and impactful moments in my life on this campus. My wife, who not only has inspired everything I'm about to tell you, but also went from Daemen goalie and Pizza Hut delivery driver to PhD, mother of two, and manager of one. I found my inspiration to be global, and not just Dominican or American, but a citizen of the world. Having swam in New Zealand and Brazil with Dr. Kiekler, celebrated the Day of the Day in Mexico, visited museums in Saudi Arabia, shopped the Crawford Market in India, saw the Panama Canal, saw the beauty of Caracas, Venezuela. All that inspiration right here. This is where this started. After commencement, each of you will have a little more experience than you brought on your first day, and you won't know what you have, perhaps. But just like the life lessons we learned as kids, I can wholeheartedly tell you that 8 years later, there is so much of me that was born right on this campus. Countless lessons that I can only define as the Daemen butterfly effect. My assistant, Google, tells me that the butterfly effect is the phenomenon where a minute localized charge, and I say this to the faculty and staff, a minute localized charge in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. And as I conclude today, I'd like to share 3 things that I tell my teams, coaches, mentees, but we're not there yet. First, let me tell you my story and why I'm here. I started at Daemen in 2005. I majored in accounting, and I switched that because of HEOP, teaching me what a syllabus is. Thank you. I never changed after that, and I lived my college experience to the fullest, working 2 jobs and earning Dean's List almost every semester. During my sophomore year at Daemen, the job placement office, and I can't remember their exact title, but Rebecca, I'll never forget her name, directed me to Northtown Automotive. Changed my life, single-handedly. From there on, I went to work for 3 years, earning invaluable experience, lifelong friendships, and meeting some of my greatest mentors. My junior year, I accepted an offer to join PricewaterhouseCoopers full-time beginning in September 2010. At that point, I had worked 40 to 50 hours, no problem, up until then. At PwC, I was exposed to incredible opportunity and some of the most fascinating careers I've ever seen. In 2012, I relocated back to the tri-state area and spent the next 2 years visiting over a dozen countries and experiencing incredible and diverse cultures, things that I have always dreamt of, again, right here. In 2016, I began as a manager with Deloitte & Touche, the #1 risk advisory accounting firm in the world, plug. I travel every week, Monday through Thursday, and manage teams across the country supporting our clients through whatever challenges they are facing. What I am most proud of, in 2014, I convinced Allie to marry me, a girl I met in Canavan. In 2015, she gave me my first daughter, Lucia Lachlan, and 5 months ago, my son, Royce Rafael. I stand here today wishing I could address every concern you have, hand you a big bag of cash, and light a fire under your ass that would ignite this entire world. I wish I could. But I'll tell you what I wish I needed to hear in Daemen in 2010. Trust your process. You've come this far and you've achieved more than many. Do your best not to limit yourself. I found a lot of peace and humor in reminding people that I'm living the dream. And I like reminding them that the harder I work, the luckier I get. Second, don't get comfortable. This is the most important secret to the sauce. Keep challenging yourself and those around you. It is your civic responsibility. Remember that stress and fear will kill you. Pause to appreciate the blessings around you. The only difference between a shitty moment and a turning point is your mindset. Believe in the energy you want to create. Lastly, one that I borrowed from an incredible influence in my life, and I'm happy to bump into her earlier today, but she's not in this room. Do what you have to do when you have to do it. There will come a time when you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. Believe in yourself, act on your inspiration, seek help and help others. Embrace and share your culture. The world is changing. We are each 1 in 400 trillion. Don't let us in this room and the world miss out on your full potential. Thanks.
Can we give another round of applause for Calvin? Calvin thought he was going to sneak away. But on behalf of the college and the ALHANA committee, we'd like to present you with this gift, and thank you so much for sharing the evening with us.
Thank you. Awesome. So, right, true story, Ms. Weeks gave me one of these, diamond-shaped, when I finished 8 semesters in a row, gave it to my mom. She still has it, so Mom, this one's for you, right?
Don't go away, don't go away, don't go away. Don't go away, don't go away. Katie Hammer, the Director of Alumni Affairs, could not be here, but she did send some things along for you and your wife. So you go, don't touch the bag, just. So there you are.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you very much.
So much. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, and now I'm going to introduce the Director of our Multicultural Affairs and Veterans Alliance. It's a lot of title. But we are going to, he will introduce the presenters of our sashes, and
Jump right in.
there we go.
Thank you. Can we give another round of applause to Kelvin, please, for an awesome job, and for his family for supporting him. This is our second year in a row. I'm so proud to see all of you here, so happy to see all of you here, and so happy for our graduates. I don't have a lot of words. I don't know if I can beat what Kelvin said, so I'm just going to say ditto and say take his advice, because I'm going to take his advice too and start following some of the things that he talked about. So we're going to jump right in with the presentation of our graduates. So we have Tiffany Hamilton and Kayla Powell here to present your session. Let's give them a round of applause. And if we can have our graduates just line up here on the stage, and we'll proceed, and I'll read your name, and you'll present your session. We can get a picture over there at the Daemen background, and then we can eat. Sound good? So graduates, please line up to the stage left. Now, let's give them a round of applause while they're coming up for all the hard work that they put in. I love the excitement. All right, so we're going to jump right in. First, we have Imani Evans. Let's give her a round of applause, please. Oh, yeah, they're going to drape it over you, so make sure you're ready for that. Next up, we have John Batista Davis. Give him a round of applause, please. Next, we have Karen Martinez. You all can do way better than that, for sure. You don't have a card? I'm supposed to just know you? I'm just messing with you. Next up, we have Isis Blunt. Up next, we have Jessica Mion. Gotcha. Up next, we have Shaquila Reed. They are making sure I'm saying their names.
Up next, we have Renee Clark. And the famous Shamela Shakia Jeffers. We have Jasenia Bravo. Please give her a round of applause. Up next, we have Rebecca Volmy. No. We have Sale Akimbo Boye. Good? Close enough? Up next, we have Lucy Davega. We have another celebrity on campus, Idanya Ramirez. Let's give her a round of applause. Next, we have Isora Del Carmen. Okay. Our next graduate goes simply as Fati. No card, okay. Up next, we have Lisa Hamadou. Y'all don't believe in me. Up next, we have Rakita Ba. Thank you. Next, we have Leslie Webster. And up next, we have Tanessa Lewis. Next, we have Monea Gooden. Oh, you were hard anyway? Next, we have Schneidi Delmas. Coming up next, we have Mr. Braxton Stinson. Hi. Yep. See, I'm glad I asked. Up next, we have Nancy Lias. And up next, we have Kimberly Wallace. Let's give her a round of applause, please. Up next, we have Hennessy Baez. How you end up like the most famous of them all? Up next, we have Crystal Perez. Please, let's give her a round of applause. And last but certainly not least, Ms. Rashida Salah. Let's give her a round of applause. And I know you all are lined up against the wall, so I want you to do so. I want you to come back to the front, and you can get back in line, and I want you all to receive another applause, please. Come back this way. Come on. I want everyone to be able to see you all. Let's stand up. Let's stand and give these folks a round of applause for all that they've accomplished, please.